This is the TRS Fretless Bass, a build I completed in 2013. When I started building the guitar I made prior to this bass, I posted some pictures on Facebook, primarily for my luthier friends who build one-off guitars like I do. Once I had passed the raw wood stages and began crafting the body of the instrument, other Facebook friends asked me to continue to post progress pictures as I worked. Soon, their interest and their comments became an inspiration. I felt like they were waiting for me to get something done and post pictures, and that motivated me to keep the project moving. When that guitar was finished, I got messages asking when I would start my next project. My next project, as it turned out, was this fretless bass. It wasn't my first bass. I had built a bass from kit parts in 1980, and 23 years later, I still love playing it. But it was a standard fretted bass. My bandmate, Steve McCoy, plays an acoustic fretless bass, and he let me try it. It had no markers or fret lines like some fretless basses have, just a plain fingerboard, similar to an upright bass. At first, I thought I could never play a bass without frets, I'd be lost. But I quickly realized that the position markers on the top edge of the fingerboard were placed where key fret locations would be. And before I knew it, I was playing and hitting notes on pitch. So I decided my next build would be a solid body fretless electric bass. One of the best parts of designing a custom instrument is adding personalized details you might not find on a typical production bass. The TRS has several, like a built-in tuner, a pickup balance control, my last name inlaid into the headstock, and a very special tailpiece. My wife's name is Teresa Rose Sparks, and her initials are TRS. Teresa Rose is inlaid in mother of pearl. The bass was completed in 2013, our 10th anniversary, represented by the 2003 dime. 1 month after it was completed, the TRS bass won a Bass of the Day post from Atlasta Recording Studio in Texas, and Bass of the Week by the online magazine Best Bass Gear, complete with an article and a photo spread. So now let's take a closer look at this unique bass. The body of the TRS came from carven as one-faced billet of alder, the same wood Fender has used for guitar and bass bodies since the beginning. 2 cavities were routed into the body, one to house the electronics and one for weight reduction. I topped it with a book-matched figured maple cap. The neck is one piece of hard rock maple, with an ebony fingerboard, ebony truss rod cover, and inlaid ebony headstock veneer. The body is bound with 2 bindings laminated together, a cream inner layer and a celluloid tortoiseshell outer layer. I also bought a sheet of plastic tortoiseshell material for the control cavity cover and the surround for the rear string ferrules. All of the hardware is gold-plated. The tuners came from Martin guitars. The heavy cast bridge came from Carvin and incorporates long throw saddles for precise intonation, and the strap locks from Schaller. The pickups are passive carving units. Both are radius topped, Alnico 5, and wired differently for the bridge and neck positions. There are 2 volume and 2 tone controls, a set for each pickup. For switching between the two, I opted for a blend pot. Full forward is neck pickup only. Full back is bridge pickup only. And a middle position detent gives me an equal blend of both. Plus, unlike the standard 3-way selector switch, I can mix the two anywhere in between. The front tone control toggles the output of the pickups from standard high impedance to balanced low impedance and back. Although it looks like the TRS is wired for a standard stereo output, one jack is actually high impedance and the other is low. I find that most of the time I use the low impedance output, which allows me to plug into a mic input of any mixer and run a longer than standard cable. Pulling up on the front volume control shuts off the main output to the amp and switches on the built-in end tuner for silent tuning. Once tuned, popping down the knob turns off the tuner and sends the signal to the amp again. The end-tune tuner is powered with a 9-volt battery hidden under the tailpiece cover, which is held on with small magnets. A quick and easy access for battery change.